Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Steve, and tonight's another episode of Go Blue After Dark, where we smoke and talk Michigan football. So let's get into it. It's game week. It finally has arrived. The most anticipated season in Michigan history. History. 2023. Championship or bust. I'm calling it. We all calling it. Houston a bust, man. Let's get into some key things going on this week. We all know Jim Harbaugh suspended the first three games of the season. Then it's just been reported, as we all kind of expected, offensive coordinator Sherrod Moore would be suspended one game, along with tight ends coach Newsom would be suspended one game as well. And it has been reported in Harbaugh absence, there would be a couple different coaches throughout those games. First, Jesse Minter would go into the Eastern Carolina game with head coaching duties. Second game, it would be Sherrod Moore, I believe, the offensive coordinator. He would be back serving as the head coach. Now, I believe the third game it would be split between Mike Hart and Jim Harbaugh's son. And for some reason, Jim Harbaugh's son been around this program forever, like five different position coaches. But hey, when your daddy got that gig like that, why not? So a little thing about Eastern Carolina, they're in the American Conference. Looking at their stats last year, kind of had me a little nervous because they really put us numbers last year. Starting quarterback, 3,700 yards throwing. Starting running back, 1,400 rushing yards. Two receivers over 1,000 yards receiving. But all those players had since gone on and transferred. So now you never know, but right now it's a bunch of young guys. Um, Nobody really coming back from that year team who made a factor. I believe the backup quarterback, Mason Garcia, had 54 passing yards last year. So this should be a very, very winnable, easy game where coming into this game is a lot of things I want to see done. Like I say, first game of the season. Um, it's going to be some jitters probably, first quarter, first couple drives, probably take a while to get going. But with this year's expectations, this should be a game where second quarter, third quarter is all backups from there on. But so like I say, being that everybody on that team is new, is really nothing to really talk about. Like I say, they kind of got a depth chart out, but it's nobody who really did shit last year. So it ain't really worth talking much about them other than they're going to be playing Michigan at the big house this Saturday on Peacock, which I don't have yet. I plan on ordering it the Friday before the game and do the 2 week trial and go from there. But I'm not really into just buying all these streaming services. But that's the way it is now. So coming into the game, we already know the depth chart offense: J.J. McCarty, Blake Corum running back, Donovan Edwards running back, receivers: Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, Tyler Morris. We've been here a lot about Colston Loveland tight end. The offensive line is stacked. Defense stacked. Not too much word on Will Johnson, the sophomore corner. This is supposed to be a breakout year for him after he finished the season on a high note last year with 3 interceptions as a freshman. And to be honest, single-handedly won that Big Ten championship game for us last year because they was driving both of those touchdowns. Those interceptions was game changing. So, but Word was they don't know if he's going to play or not. He's been dealing with some injuries. As we all know with Harbaugh, he's been known to be tight-lipped when it comes to injuries and things of that nature. So we not going to really probably get nothing out of him to game time. But like I say, man, I'm excited as hell. A couple key things I'm looking for is this game. Like I say, it's not too big of a game far as name goes, but you never know. We all, as Michigan fans, we know what could happen. But me personally, linebacker play. I feel this position has held us back these last 2 years. Far as Ross was okay 2021, but he's not no thumper. He's not somebody in the middle that you go fear as a running back or just an offense. Period. Junior Colson, I think, he supposed to have gained some weight this year. He was kind of light last year, and he's good sideline to sideline, but he didn't really strike fear into the hearts of running backs and offensive linemen. He didn't get off blocks good. He got caught up a couple of times. He kind of came in late when tackles was already being made. So my biggest thing in this game, I want to see linebackers making plays. I I believe, you know, Chris Jenkins and Mason Graham, that interior D line, I believe they're going to be okay. Edge rushers, I don't think we're going to see much. This is not one of them teams. To be honest, not until that fourth or fifth week, I'm going to expect to really see, because as we all know, when you play these small teams, it's easy for a player to look better than they really is. And then you get in conference play, you don't hear their name anymore. So I'm just looking forward to see who's out there, who's healthy. Do Donovan Edwards look healthy? Because last year he hurt his knee in the Hawaii game. And that ended up playing a major role throughout the season with him in the offense. Him and Blake Corum only played one game together, I believe, kind of healthy, and that was the Penn State game where they both rushed for over 160. So, man, I'm going to try to make this a short video because I can talk all week, all day about how I feel about this season right now. So linebacker is my main concern. I want to see what the transfer do. Is he gonna be that thumper? He certainly looked like that in the spring game, but once again, that's practice. This is the real deal. This is live. So I want to see that. I want to see the offensive line get real pushes. I want to see who's going. I've been hearing a lot about Bernhardt. Could possibly be our best left tackle right now. I want to see is Raheem Anderson go get some play at center, because a lot of these position battles will be open competition, I believe, until week 3 or 4. Just like last year with the quarterback situation with McNamara and McCarty, I believe this year it's going to be just similar to that, but you're going to have multiple positions. I believe the cornerback 2 spot, which being that I believe is rumors that Will Johnson is dealing with an injury, if that's to believe so, he probably shouldn't play at all. So with that being said, we get the chance to see some other corners get some playing time, get their feet wet, but before the conference play come along, which is going to be big. But I believe there's only 4 or 5 positions that's locked down. JJ, Blake Corum, I believe Roman Wilson, Barron, he gets hurt. Him and Cornelius will be the receivers. I believe we running 2 tight ends, so Colston Loveland and a transfer, probably one and 1B. But edge, you have Braden McGregor, senior, A lot of expectations kind of started last year, then lost his spot, then came along late in the season and made a couple big plays later on down the stretch. And then you have on the other edge, you have Jalen Harrell, senior, been making plays and playing forever, but really, solidified himself as that guy coming into the year. And then we have my favorite, I believe, who's going to be a top 10 to 15 pick, sophomore Derek Moore. Sorry about that. Sophomore Derek Moore out of Maryland. I believe he has the most upside. Gained some weight. Dude look like a natural DN. Um, but him, then we have the transfer, Josiah Stewart, who I've been hearing a lot about. They say he get under your pads and he take you for a ride. So I believe those four people possibly could all have breakout seasons. I believe the pressure's on McGregor and Jalen. Because Josiah Stewart is a junior and Derek Moore is a sophomore. So they playing with the church's money right now. And I'm a strong believer. I think that position battle is going to go into week 3. We won't know who's. I believe one game, Jalen Harrell McGregor is going to start. Then the second game, I believe Derek Moore, Josiah Stewart is going to start. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the safety play. I believe as Michigan fans, outside of Jabril Peppers, who was a hybrid linebacker and safety, and Daxton Hill, which was a nickel safety as well, we haven't really been known to have great safeties. I'm excited to see Rob Moore and Makari Page. Man, them dudes gonna be some dogs this year. Them dudes gonna be some dogs. Then their backups, you got Keon Sapp, Zeke Berry. You have some young guys over there who just setting the standards that we got athletes over here now. Because like I say, last year was the first year I felt comfortable going to the other state game to where we got some DBs can run with your receivers. It's not like every time they threw the ball, during the Don Brown area where you just saw, Martellus or somebody just constantly chasing receivers. I believe Jabril Peppers, but Dax Hill to me started it where he was tackling receivers and getting them on the ground. And that's kind of been the trend now where we haven't been getting beat deep, knock on wood, and we've been having DBs can actually tackle outside of DJ Turner, who I love, was a great corner, but that missed tackle on 3rd and 7, the TCU game will be forever played in my head. But other than that, man, I'm pretty excited. Like I say, it's normally when we go into these type of season where it's like we don't know who's starting here, we don't know who's starting at this position, it's normally a bad thing. But the thing about this, we have so many players, great players, that we have abundance of talent to where it's just we have some players who they need these first 3 or 4 games to see, all right, who's going to be the guy going into the Penn State game. So I'm very excited, man. Like I say, this Saturday, going down, J.J. McCarty, junior year, Blake Core, Donovan Edwards. I'm excited to see Benjamin Hall. I think C.J. Stokes I think he's an athlete. Speed. He kind of remind me of my guy went to the Bengals, the running back. Got suspended, then came back. I'll think of his name later. But far as I see Benjamin Hall actually being a key running back. Like I say, with Blake coming back off of injuries, I know he's probably ready to go right now, but chill out a little bit. Let some of these freshmen, let CJ Stokes try to get his feet wet again, make up from last year, because that fumble against Maryland, we haven't heard from him since. So I think this big, like I said, I'm gonna do another video probably Thursday or Friday before the game, just in case any more injuries, updates come available. Because all this, as of right now, Will Johnson is the only person I'm hearing outside of Blake. Um, and Blake is supposed to be 100% healthy, but Will Johnson's the only one I keep hearing that hasn't been practicing all the time. And so I'm pretty sure Friday we'll know more. So I'll probably try and do a video then, man. But other than that, I'm excited as hell, man. 2023 championship or bust. 3 years Big Ten championship. It's crazy. This team is stacked, man. Every position is stacked. We have some ballers on this team, and I can't wait, man. So this Saturday, 11 o'clock kickoff on Peacock. So if you're expecting to see it on Fox and CBX, man, it's going to be a big surprise. It's on Peacock. Um, I guess the Big Ten Network is on going to be on Peacock as well this year. But other than that, let's get it. Go Blue.